First of all, thank you so much for showing up, and for those who have come to this meetup first time, welcome to this meetup group. For those who don't know me, my name is Kamal, and I have been selling on Amazon for past 3 years. Started with retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, wholesale, and then finally doing private label. And we started this meetup group in Feb this year, and this is our 8th meetup. And at every meetup, we've been getting a lot of engagement. New people show up, and we do have a WhatsApp group. We have a Facebook group as well, and many sellers, they ask a lot of questions. Our group is really engaged, and today we have a special guest from Calgary, Stephen Mayer. He's a YouTuber with thousands of subscribers, and he runs a company called Freedom Hackers. He'll be speaking on product research and how to find suppliers in China. And we also have a Ken. He's from Edmonton, and he runs a YEG prep company, prep center. He's also, very knowledgeable guy, and shows up at our meetups and answers all the questions in our group as well. So what we'll do, he's going to speak on Q4, how it's almost time now. October's coming, November, December, Cyber Monday, Black Friday, Christmas holidays. October doesn't do much. We still have, a few weeks for sales to, skyrocket. And when I say skyrocket, I literally mean, the sales just blow up if you're selling toys or any gift items. Basically anything, the sales just go up if you have a nice product, if you're on the first or second page of Amazon. So Ken will be speaking on Q4 and how you can stay in stock, how you can make the most out of Q4. So first, what I'll do, we'll just introduce ourselves, see who we are. Just say your name and how long you've been selling on Amazon. If you're brand new, just say brand new. If you're selling for a long time. So I'm Kamal, as I mentioned, been selling for 3 years now. And we'll go from this table to, all the way there. And then Ken will be speaking on Q4 for about 15-20 minutes, and then we'll come to Stephen after that. Okay, so we'll start with Saddam.
Hi everyone, my name is Saddam, and I have been on Amazon for about a year and a half. Same thing as Kamal, started off with retail and online arbitrage, but private label is where the money is at, so now I'm currently doing that.
Hi guys, my name is Aaron, and I haven't started yet with Amazon, so I'm just looking forward to hear all the good information from all of you guys.
Hey guys, I'm Steven. I'm from Calgary, and I've been selling on Amazon for just over 2.5 years now.
My name's Leo. I've been selling on Amazon for about 2 months.
My name is Jesse, and I'm brand new.
Nice.
I'm Manuel, and I'm just learning.
Nice.
Okay, I'm Olar. Been following internet marketing since February 1995.
Wow.
And at the moment, I have nothing sellable on the net, but I have 2 projects that are pretty big that I'm developing at the moment.
And he also has an internet
The
meetup
internet
group.
marketing meetup group.
Meetup group. If
Next
you're
Wednesday night, I think it is.
Wednesday night.
No, next Tuesday. Next Tuesday night.
Next Tuesday. So if you are into marketing, his group is great. Feel free to join that. It's on Meetup.
No, hang
Meetup
on. The 16th.
16th.
No. It's October 16th.
October 16th. Okay,
Yeah.
whenever, just join his join his group, and there's a lot of information there.
Hey guys, my name is Christian. I've been doing some with the arbitrage for a little bit, and I just launched my product 2 weeks ago. So I'm here to get some value and also offer some value. Got some tips.
My name's Neil, and I just reached out to manufacturers on Sunday, so I'm hoping to launch soon.
Exciting for you.
Kazim, I've been selling for just over 3 years.
And he's the one who makes more money on eBay than Amazon.
I'm Imran. I'm new to Amazon, but I've been doing Shopify for about 1.5 years. So I'm just trying to bridge over to Amazon now.
Nice. Yes, big guys.
My name is Melissa, and I do retail arbitrage and online arbitrage. I started about a year ago, but it's been off and on. Now I want to go full course, and I'd love to get to private label.
Nice.
My name is Ken. I've been doing
this since 2015. Laws and aspects of it.
Hi, my name is Peter, and I've just moved from Amazon.
Hey, my name is Thomas, and I'm in the stage of product research right now. And well, didn't sell anything yet.
I'm Jenny. I've been doing it for a few months.
I'm Farah Habrar. I was doing retail operations for the last three and a half months. And I'm planning to go for private label by the end of the year.
Hi, I'm Shafin. I'm doing mostly retail arbitrage and other types of arbitrage for a few months, and I'm just trying to research them a little bit more about private label. Watched a couple of your videos. Thought you looked familiar when I walked in. So you look familiar. Thanks.
Thank you. Yes, I think you are the only one who left.
Maybe
I'll take you into account.
Yeah, myself, I started actually directly with private label product, and it's been a very good journey for me. And I'm hoping for like long and good successful journey for me as well.
Perfect. So, if someone's wondering why we are recording this, our WhatsApp group members, they are really excited, and they were asking for live streaming, but I think it's too much for me to go Facebook Live for 2 hours. I don't know if the battery will last. So that's the reason we are recording this, and we're gonna probably send these clips to our members in WhatsApp group or maybe in the Facebook group, so that they can get some information out of this group. So I would like to welcome Ken, if he can speak on Q4. Thank you.
So if I made a little group, like I made a little document. If you go to bit.ly/KK0926, bit.ly/KK0926, it'll bring up the presentation I'm talking about today, okay?
We'll send that over.
So Q4 is the busiest time in Amazon, and just pulling up the notes right now so I don't forget anything. It's the busiest time on Amazon, and what you can expect is your sales to go way up. If you're into toys or maybe you're into Christmas items, your sales are going to go through the roof. We're looking at 100 to 500% increase or more. That's something you can look at. Just one sec. The next thing that happens on Amazon is an increase in storage fees. In the US, you have about a 300 or 250% hike in your storage fees per month. In Canada, it's only 40%. So you're not paying as much storage fees for some of these items that you're trying to sell at lots. So you have to be aware of some of these costs when you're importing mass amount of goods. Even though your sales are higher, you might be hit with some of these storage fees and have the goods into January or February, depending on how well you researched your topic. So that was point 2. You're also going to notice that PPC costs are going to go up because there's going to be a lot more people advertising. So it's good to be testing before Q4 and finding some of those longer tail keywords that work well instead of doing those major keywords, because those are going to be more profitable in the long run because they won't be as expensive for you. There's going to be more competition, especially in Q4 for like OA and RA, because people are going to buy deeper and they're going to go wider and buy products they never bought before, because everyone knows that Q4 sells like crazy and sometimes you can't keep enough stock. Also, be wary of longer check-in times, because Amazon's going to be busier at their facilities, and incorporate that in your thing. My next point is about how not to run out of stock. A good thing to know is try to figure out how long it takes you from to start to finish to, like, if you're buying a product, how long is it taking you from when you buy it to when Amazon's receiving it? And know that kind of delay. So let's say you figure out it's a 14 days from buying the item from Toys R Us to you receiving it to sending it to Amazon, for example. You have to make sure you factor in you have enough units to last those 14 days and factor that in. And remember, during the holidays, shipping times are going to be up and down, and fulfillment times are going to be up and down. So knowing your exact like shipping times and your prep times and all your different times can help you factor in knowing how much stock to have. And if you're doing OA, wholesale, and RA, if you run out of items, it's not as critical as private label, because usually there's other sellers that will keep the metrics going steady on those listings, unless you all plan bad inventory. Okay? So like, if you're doing private label, you might be expecting like, your times might be somewhere between 5 days if you ordered like a generic item and just get it shipped as fast as you can to say Edmonton or the US sent, to like 30 days. Or you could do by sea, which could be like 30 to 60 day process. So if you're figuring about Q4 and you're shipping by sea, you're almost going to miss the boat. You're not going to get there until like November now. It's going to be really late to hit that boat. But if you have a good product, it doesn't matter if you have it in Q4 or Q1 if it's not a seasonal item, it's still going to sell. Okay? So it's really important to understand how long it takes you to get these items and know these times so you can factor in accordingly. If you're doing OA, RA, or wholesale, go wide in your listings, because the more, if I have 1,000 SKUs listed on Amazon and I have say 1 of each, or I have 100 and I have 10 of each, I'm going to probably sell more in that 1,000 than I will the 110, for example. So don't be afraid to go wider and try different things, because you never know what you're going to find. Analyze your sales and prepare items. So like what I do when I analyze every week, except for Q4, I'm probably going to analyze it 2 or 3 times. I'll sit and look through my orders and see what items sold and what items I need to replenish. Because I'm not always selling items that sell, if they say hundreds a month, sometimes I'm selling items for like 100 to 300% ROI, but they're only selling 5 a month. So I have to make sure those are kept in stock, because I'm the only FBA seller. If I go out of stock, it's not going to have any sales. So I would look at, usually it was Saturday for me, but now I'm going to probably do Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, just to make sure my stock levels are consistent. I plan out, and right now I was usually planning out for OA, RA, and wholesale. I'm planning my replens. I was usually planning to try to do 1 month of stock. For Q4, I'm planning for 2 to 3, because I know the increases in sales, and I'll plan, so for the first hit, I'll do 2 to 3. I'm probably going to do 2 to 3 again in November and October and just keep that flow going. And December, I'll probably just let it wind down and reorder in the new year my normal quotas. Replenishments can be sold year round. It doesn't matter what you have as long as they're not seasonal. In the notes as well, I go through a private label store that uses, that sells private label products / other like retail products. The reason they're selling retail products is for metrics, to keep their metrics up. So if I had a private label item with 100 items that were that sold in a month, and I have 3 that are bad, that's a 3% defect rate in my account and a 3% in the item. But if I sold 500 retail arbitrage items, that's under 1%. Okay? So that's basically it. There's some links and you can look through the data, or I can read over some of the data or answer some questions if anyone has any.
When does Q4 start?
October 1st. That's the official start. There's links to the storage fees and stuff like that, so you can look in the thing and it'll show you.
And last year I was looking, because I'll be a new seller, they had mentioned that they lock out new sellers during Q4. Is that still a thing?
I don't know the official ruling this year.
December 19th is typically the date.
They lock out new sellers?
Anything after December 19th, you won't be able to send inventory as a new seller.
Okay. December 19th?
December 19th,
Canada
correct.
or in the States?
Sorry, in the States, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's where most of the sales come in, even though it starts in October, like you was mentioning. Most sales will be in November, December. So December 19th is the cutoff.
When do they start again?
I
When
think
they
it's
open it
January
up?
1st.
January 1st.
It's a very small period.
Yeah.
Just remember that toys is going to be restricted if you haven't sold up to 25 items, probably 2. So if you haven't sold items and you're bringing in a toy, you have to wait till next year probably. Okay? Yes, sir.
You said about the increase in the storage fees, like does that carry over the same period, like October to?
Yes. So so in Canada it's 40%, and it's October, November, and December. Back in January it goes back to normal.
I have 40 items in my store now.
40?
40 items.
Yeah.
Right? And I want to go for PBC.
Yeah.
Right? So how much reasonable budget I have to foresee for that?
So I would start an auto campaign first at a low price and see what kind of keywords you can pick up. And depending on your profit margins, then you increase. But you still have to be profitable with your campaigns. So you just try one at a time. Don't go too deep into one thing, because with you're doing RA, your margins are not going to be as steep as wholesale, right?
Okay.
But go a lot of different items.
So how much, say 20 items, 10 items?
Start with the whole store. Do an auto campaign for like 2 cents to 5 cents to get started and get some information, and then go from there. And then hit some of those. If you're having like one item, I wouldn't do PPC. But if you're, let's say you find a replenishable item, do PPC on that, because you're probably going to buy more of it, and you'll use that data over and over again. But if you're just trying to sell that one toy that you bought on clearance, it's probably not worth digging in all the information into. Anyone else? All right. So go ahead.
We will also have a questions and answers period end of the Stephen's speech as well. So if there is any questions related to Ken or Stephen's speech, you can always, or any questions after the speech is done. Any questions are welcome. So if you missed any.
Good luck in Q4.
Thanks, man. Yeah, thank you so much, Ken. And he mentioned something about order defect rate that has to be 1%. That really need to keep that in mind. It's only when you get a negative feedback. Someone leaves you negative feedback as order defective, then that really counts. And I have got my account suspended first time due to the ODR rate. I did not know that it's 1%, and I was selling electronics at that time. So if you're selling electronics, you want to make sure it's either a top-notch quality, or you're selling something else with the electronics, so that your ODR rate is always below 1%. And anytime you get a negative feedback, just try to resolve it. There's a resolve button right below. So most of the time, if it's a product, if it's something to do with the product, it will be deleted right away. If you're doing FBA, most of the time the negative feedback is easy to get rid of. But in some cases, they are tricky to get rid of. So yeah, just keep in mind ODR rate if you're selling electronics, or if you're selling less units. Even one negative feedback on order defect rate would hurt you a lot. And now I think, Steven's going to speak on product research and suppliers. And I also wanted to thank him. He came on a short notice. He was in United States, and he just came to Canada last night. And thank you for coming on short notice. So yeah, so over to you.
All right, guys. So product research. I don't know where to start, just because there's a lot of different things. So who here is looking at product research phase right now? Like all of you guys, right? Perfect. Always, yeah. So you should always be doing that. So typically, my expertise, I would say, is product research, because 70% of sellers, when they start, pick the wrong product. 70%. Okay, so remember that. So a lot of you guys might, I think it was you that said you had a product. You're talking to manufacturers right now, right? So I'm going to give you some points right here to just go over to double check that you picked the right product, okay? So some of you guys might have seen this video on YouTube, but I'll quickly go through it in regards to what I look for when I'm doing product research, okay? So the first thing that I take a look at is going to be reviews, okay? So there's 3 things that I actually take a look at when it comes to reviews. So the first thing is going to be the speed of reviews. It's going to be the quality of reviews and the number of reviews. So speed of reviews, what does that mean? It means if I'm taking a look at a listing and that seller has 40 reviews, let's just say, okay? I want to see how quick he got those 40 reviews. Did he get those 40 reviews in a week, or did he get them in 3 or 4, 5, 6 months? Why does that matter? Because I know by the time that my product arrives at Amazon, it could be a month, 2 months, 3 months, and that seller, if he's able to get quick reviews in a short period of time, by the time my product arrives, he's not going to be at 40 reviews, he might be at 150 reviews. And now it might be too competitive for me. So you want to go in and take a look at the speed of reviews. So if you guys have Viral Launch, they do that for free for you guys. It's under the market intelligence section. You guys can take a look at that. Or what you could do is you just hire a VA, or you do it by yourself. Just take a look at the top 10 listings, go through the reviews, sort them by dates, and see how quick they're getting the reviews every single month, okay? The next thing was quality of reviews. So that's pretty much the only time that it doesn't matter if someone has 500 or 1,000 reviews, because if they have 1,000 reviews but they have a 3.2 star as an average, it really doesn't matter that they have 1,000 reviews, because I can come in with a better product with less reviews and I'm still going to be able to compete with that seller. So I take a look at the overall, a lot of you guys, who here just takes a look at a quick picture of Jungle Scout? You take a look at Jungle Scout, you see the numbers, and you say, is this a good product or not? And I get that asked every single day. Someone will send me a screenshot of Jungle Scout. They say, Steven, should I source this product, yes or no? And it's impossible for me to say yes or no, because there's so many different other things that you have to take a look at rather than just that screenshot, okay? So that's quality reviews is the next thing. And then what was the other one? The amount of reviews. So that's pretty obvious. If everyone on page 1 has, 500, 1,000 reviews, as a new seller, that's probably not the best category for you guys to go into right away. I would aim to try to be under 100. There's no set rules. I know some people say, the first 7 to 10 listings should have under 100 reviews or whatever. There's no set amount. Just take a look. If everyone has way too many reviews, then it's probably not a product that you guys want to get into, okay? The next thing is age of listing. So age of listing is, when was this product first put onto the market? So take a look at your competitors. If everyone started selling these, a month ago, and their sales are killing it, then it's probably not the best information for you. You want to wait to make sure that the sales are consistent month after month, 4 or 5 months that they've been selling consistently on Amazon, so that you know that you can launch this product and you're going to be able to make money. Because fidget spinners, you guys know fidget spinners? Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, that's a great product, right? Or a great example. That was at the start of the year, that spiked super, super high. People saw the numbers. Oh my God, people are making $50,000, $60,000. They jumped on board. It was a new product, and a few months later, it completely died. And it's because there was not enough age of listing, okay? So you want to make sure that everyone has been selling for 4, 5, 6, 7 months, okay? Next thing is BSR history. So that's pretty much the ranking. So you want to take a look at the ranking and take a look at what is the seller's BSR ranking. So do you guys know what ranking, how it works kind of, or somewhat? So the lower the number of a BSR, the better the product. The higher it is, the worse it is, okay? So if you see a product, and with Helium 10, you guys can get this completely free. You can take a look at their BSR from the last 60 to 90 days. Because the day that you guys are doing your product research with Jungle Scout, maybe that last few days they did a giveaway with Viral Launch. They spiked their algorithms, and now the BSR is super, super low. You take a look at it on that specific day, and you're like, oh my God, this product is killing it on Amazon, but it's because they did a launch. And you didn't take a look at all the other days that they actually sold on Amazon. So you want to take a look at their history of the BSR, and you want it to be as straight as possible. It's never going to be straight, it's going to go up and down. But if you see big peaks and valleys, then the product is not steady for that seller. They're probably doing giveaways every time that you see it going up and down, okay? The next thing you guys want to take a look at, where'd my picture go? It is going to be market depth. This is a huge one that a lot of people don't pay attention to. Market depth is when you're taking a look at page 1, you want to find out and see that there's multiple sellers that are making money, not just 2, 3, or 4 sellers. Okay, so you want to make sure that the amount is spread out amongst all the sellers on page 1. A lot of times people will send me a screenshot and I see 3 sellers making $50,000, $100,000 a month, and everyone else is making $1,000 or $2,000 a month. That's not a good product. Those 3 competitors, they own that market. Even if I come in, there's no way I'm going to be able to compete with them. So you want to make sure that it's spread out. If you can even go to page 2 for that main keyword and see that people are making sales on page 2, then you know that it's a good product. Okay, so market depth. Next thing with market depth too, to take a look at is who is actually selling the product. So there's FBA, which is fulfilled by Amazon. There's FBM, which is fulfilled by merchants, so I can fulfill it myself from my house. And then there's also Amazon. So a lot of categories now are getting saturated by Amazon, and Amazon owns the listing, and you will not be able to compete with Amazon. So if you come across a screenshot on Jungle Scout and on the right-hand side it'll show you seller, and you see more than half of the sellers are Amazon sellers, that is not a product you guys want to go into. Amazon has their Amazon basic products, and they've been testing, and they only sell products that work. They know that, they have the research, they own the data. So if you're trying to compete with Amazon, good luck. They're going to destroy you with PPC, with ranking. They're going to dominate. So if you see too many Amazon sellers on the first page, it's not a product to get into, okay? Listing quality. So this is something that you want to take a look at to see how many images someone has. Are they optimized? How's their title? That's probably the biggest thing that you guys want to take a look at, their images and so on and so forth. With Helium 10, a lot of you guys probably use Jungle Scout. You guys might have seen my video where I talked, I didn't like Jungle Scout because they're completely not accurate. But I met with the owner of the Greg about a month ago, and they updated their software, and it's a lot more accurate. I tested it on my product. It is accurate. The only thing is with Helium 10, you can actually search for listings based off of images. So I can say, show me all the listings that are making this much money with this, all the categories I choose, and then I actually select how many images. So I can put one image. So if I find a product that's doing $30,000 a month with one image, what does that tell you guys?
Room for growth, right?
Sorry?
Room for growth.
Exactly, room for growth. If he's killing it with one image, I'm going to come in, I'm going to dominate. I'm going to put 7 high-quality pictures. I'm going to have an optimized listing, and I'm going to be able to compete, and it's not even going to be a competition, right? So that's why you want to take a look at listing quality. If you come across a product that's killing it, and everyone on page 1 has amazing images, amazing title, they're ranking properly, everything, it's probably not a product you want to get into too, because the sellers know what they're doing, and you're going to be competing against sellers that are probably running outside traffic with ManyChat, Facebook, Instagram, and doing outside things because they know what they're doing. So you want to make sure that you're not competing against sellers that know what they're doing, okay? The next thing that you do take a look at is price consistency. So again, with like the BSR, you want to make sure that the price is consistent. So I don't want to find a product that 1 month is doing $19.99 a month, and then 2 months down the road it's now at $9.99. Okay, that's not consistent. That's going to wreck my whole profit margins. So you want to make sure that the price consistency is pretty much a straight line month after month. And again, with Helium 10, it's completely free. You guys can download the tool. It's completely free. And you guys will have that. Once you go into the listing, it's already built into the listing, and you can actually see the graphs for the BSR, and you can see the graph for the pricing. So you want to make sure the price is as straight as possible for all the category. And a perfect example is one of my students actually launched the product. I told her not to launch this product. It was, here's a tip for products. Do not launch products that you see as seen on TV. Okay? Those products get saturated extremely quick, and the example was those little egglets that you kind of cook in water. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. They're red, hot water, completely saturated. Like anyway, she launched the product, and overnight there was hundreds and hundreds of sellers selling that exact same product, and it's because of that. And the price went, I think it's $24 it started, and it dropped down to like $7. And now you're competing against people in China. They get it at cost. There's no way you're going to compete with them. So now you're stuck with inventory because you didn't do the product research properly. Someone over here picked that? Yeah, you? It happens.
No, actually, I only showed it to him. I was like, look at this product.
Yeah.
That was it. No.
Yeah. Yeah, as seen on TV products are horrible. The next thing is sales and revenue. That's pretty straightforward. You want to make sure that it's healthy for sales. Revenue is healthy, so I won't touch base on that. That's pretty straightforward. Number of sellers. So that's one that most people do not take a look at. So number of sellers is under each listing. So let's just say the main keyword was fish oil. I type in fish oil. On the first page, there's maybe 20 different listings, okay? Do you guys know what hijackers are? Most of you, does anyone not know what a hijacker is? Okay, so a hijacker is pretty much someone takes over your listing. So think about me having a retail store, and someone comes into my store with his little cash register, sits right beside me, and collects all my sales, and at the end of the day goes home and does it over and over again. That's pretty much what a hijacker is. They come onto your listing, and when someone comes to the page, they get the sales, not you, okay? And there's a lot of ways to hijack. But in regards to the number of sellers, what you guys want to take a look at, so back to the example with the fish oil, there's 20 listings on page 1. Under each listing, how many sellers are actually selling under those products? And that's how you're going to know if it's going to become saturated and if you are going to get hijacked. So perfect example with those egglets, those egg cooker thing. First page, I think there's 20. There's over 200 sellers based off of 20 listings. Think about that. 200 people are trying to compete for 20 listings. That's insane. So even if I launched a product, I had amazing pictures, amazing everything, at least 100 of them will jump onto my listing and try to hijack me and sell. And now it's if any of you guys have dealt with hijackers, you know it's a headache, it's a nightmare trying to get them off. Amazon sometimes doesn't help. It's a lot of waste of time. So to avoid all of that, you look at a product and you see how many sellers are under each listing. On average, if it's 1 to 2, you're okay. But if you start seeing a lot of listings have 20, 30, 15, don't launch into that product because you guys, I can guarantee you guys you'll launch and you'll have hijackers on your guys' listing, okay? Google Trends, that's pretty straightforward. So you just want to take a look at the Google Trends for that main keyword. So you just go to Google searches and you just do a quick Google search, or Google Trends, sorry, and you do a quick search for that keyword. And what you're trying to look for, again, is it's a straight line. It's never going to be a straight. It's going to be up and down. If you see up and down and goes to the number 0, that means it's most likely a seasonal product. Okay? If it stays in between, like, I think it's 30 and like 100, it's probably not a seasonal product. If it dips and hits 0 and goes back up, then it's going to be a seasonal product. There's nothing wrong with launching a seasonal product, but if you're launching a seasonal product when it's at peak, and by the time you get your products and it's now down, well, now you have 0 momentum, you're not going to make any money, and now you're going to have to wait, a couple months or whatever to actually pick that wave back up. So if you are going to launch a seasonal product, make sure that you're launching it when it's at 0 on Google Trends so that once it picks up, you're a part of the wave, okay? Product saturation, so you want to make sure, this is a hack if you guys don't know, to find out if the product I'm about to launch, is it going to become saturated, meaning in 2 to 3 months, are other sellers going to sell this exact same product? So how you guys do that, this data for us, is with PPC. So how it comes down is their suggested bid amount. So Amazon knows how many people are creating listings, how many people are bidding for keywords. So what you guys are looking for to make this as simple as possible, first off, you can use a tool called Scope, and it'll automatically tell you the keywords. If you don't want to pay for Scope, then you guys can create your own listing on Amazon. Upload all the keywords that you would be ranking for that product, and then Amazon will automatically let you know the suggested bid amount for that keyword. So what you're going to have to spend to actually get that sale to compete with other sellers. So what you're looking for is a 0, like a penny, all the way to $1. If you find that for a suggested bid amount, that's a good product. It's not going to get saturated. You're not going to have any competition. You're okay. Anything from $1 to $2 is getting a little bit saturated, and anything over $3, $3.50 is a super, super competitive keyword. It doesn't mean that the overall product is bad, because you can launch a product and have a lot of competitive keywords and non-competitive, but that's how you guys will be able to find out. So let's just say fish oil. If we went on fish oil right now and I took a look at all the main keywords for fish oil, so omega-3 fish oil, all that, I can guarantee that almost all the keywords bid amounts are going to be over $3. So I know that it's saturated, I know that it's competitive, and if I go into it, I'm going to need a lot of money to compete with the top guys and spend that PPC. Does that make sense for the product saturation? Yeah? Okay. And then the last thing is going to be patent, seasonal, and restricted. So for patents, it's pretty straightforward. You guys can do a free patent search on Google. You can just search it. If you guys aren't 100% sure, you can hire someone on Fiverr. It's like $10 or $15. Someone can double check it for you. Typically, you don't run into that issue, but if it's like electronics or technology, something like that, I would run it through. It's $15. It'll save you guys the headache. The next thing was seasonal, which we touched base. If you guys do want to launch seasonal, just make sure you're launching it at the right time. And then the next thing is restricted. So there's restricted on Amazon, and then there's gated. So gated means Amazon protects the category. So an example would be like health supplements. So the consumer is going to be taking the pills or putting it on their face, their skin, so on and so forth. So for those categories, you have to get approved by Amazon before you even launch into that. Okay, so it's important to know that, because I've seen sellers actually purchase the product, get everything ready, and then they go to list it and they can't list it because it's gated. Now there is a hack that you can pay someone to get it ungated. So if you guys are looking at getting into an a gated category, it's called the Funnel Guru. If you guys want to write that down, that he will get you ungated. It's guaranteed he can get you ungated in any category that's gated on Amazon. His name is Steve, and he'll get you guys ungated. Now on the opposite side, there's restricted. So there's some products on Amazon that are restricted. So an example would be pesticide. So I can't sell a product that has pesticide, okay? So here's an example. Is one of my students, you guys know what a pest repeller is? Ultrasonic pest repeller. So pretty much you plug it in the outlet here, and it shoots like a wave to keep bugs out of your house, okay, pretty much. So that was his product. He launched it on Amazon, and his listing got flagged because it said it fights against pesticides. Like you don't have to use pesticides, no chemicals, and so on and so forth. So his listing got flagged because that keyword, pesticide, is a restricted keyword. So how do you guys know if your product's going to be restricted or not? There's two ways. Number one, you can just message or call Amazon and say, hey, I'm looking at launching this product. Is it restricted, yes or no? Or number two, you guys create a ghost listing on Amazon. I know I'm throwing a lot of stuff at you guys right now. But the ghost listing is pretty much you create a fake listing that, like you were going to be creating on Amazon, a completely fake listing. You leave it up for 2 to 3 days. And if Amazon takes it down, then you know it's restricted. If they don't, then you're good to go. How does that work? Amazon has pretty much a little like spider bots that crawl all the websites. They look at every single keyword. And if there's a keyword in your listing that's restricted, they'll flag it. And then your listing will get taken down. So that's 2 ways on how you guys can take a look at that, okay? So that's pretty much product research. That's what I look at. I look at 20 different things when I'm doing a product, when I finalize a product. So it's not just one thing. I'll look at sellers for, I'll do the 999 method. You guys know what the 999 method is? Most of you guys, yeah. So I'll do that for, 2-3 weeks to make sure that they're selling and so on and so forth. But that's pretty much it for product research. Any questions or? There's a video on all of this in more details, I guess, on my YouTube. If you guys are interested, it breaks it down. But if you guys have any questions, yes?
So running out of those 20 things, like which one takes you the longest? Like which you spend the most time on?
All of them pretty much take up the same amount of time because I am, like one product will probably take me about an hour and a half to go through all those points properly. And then I'll also grab all the top ASINs of the first page and I'll monitor them for the next 5 to 7 days, 10 days sometimes, and make sure that they're actually making sales with the 999 method, looking at their BSR, tracking it. But yeah, I spend that's one thing I was talking. I'm looking at creating a software. I'm working with some software engineers for everything I just told you guys right now, trying to put that into a software. So literally all you guys would do is just put in the keyword or the ASIN, and it would calculate all those data points for you and spit out a yes or no if the product is good or not, or calculate based off a point value. I haven't figured that out yet. But it takes a lot of time, and that's why 70% of people fail because they picked the wrong product, right? So,
thanks.
Yeah, no worries.
I don't know the 999 method.
Okay, no worries. So the 999 method is if you find a product, your competitors, you want to kind of see how much they're selling, you would add that product to the cart, like you're going to check out. Okay. And then on the checkout page, you would change the quantity to 999. And then you would click add to cart, go, and then it's automatically going to let you know how many they have in their cart. Okay? The only time that doesn't work though is if the seller has a max order quantity. And now most people are setting up max order quantity, and that's why it's kind of hard to predict it, but a lot of people still don't do it. So
how do you set up max?
So once you're creating the listing, there's a section where you would put max order quantity, and you want to make sure you guys do that if you guys are doing a giveaway with Viral Launch or any services, because if you don't and it gets shared, someone could purchase hundreds of that at once, right? And it's happened multiple times.
Is 50 a good number, or
I usually do 2 to 3. When I'm doing a launch, 1 to 2.
Max order quantity.
Yes, so the max that one customer could purchase from you at once, they can just 1 or 2, and then after the launch, I usually do 4 to 6.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yep.
How far are you with your software? How close is it?
I'm running into a lot of issues. It's finding Amazon doesn't provide a lot of data to developers. That's the biggest thing. So it's kind of trying to figure out and put the pieces together. But I don't have a timeline yet. I don't know when it's gonna. I have to do a lot of testing on it, but who knows? Hopefully soon.
Maybe next year, or?
Oh yeah, 100%. It'll be done next year for sure. Yeah. So in the meantime, then you use these what I just taught you guys, and it's the same thing.
And you know already the price you would like to sell it for?
I have no clue how to.
He's asking for discounts.
Yeah.
So
exactly, and that's the thing. It's going to be completely. You're still going to need a product research tool to find the product. But then how do you validate the product? That's where no one's doing that. There's nobody on the market doing this, and this is where I get asked every single day. I get screenshots every single day about that. And I actually started a service where I would charge people $700 to validate a product for them. I started, and it got so overwhelmed. I got so busy. I was like, you know what? Why don't I just create this software, and I'm able to actually, $39 a month or $29 a month, affordable, where you can just do it yourself, and boom, now you're able to validate a product quickly, right? So,
very good,
yeah. So we'll see. Yeah, I think so too, yeah.
That's actually what you're trying to do is incredibly difficult.
Yes, I know that.
No, because there are 20 variables and the weighting between each variable to everything else.
Yeah.
And to have accurate information for that weighting.
I'll have to create the weighting, yeah.
Out on model items,
Yep.
you can in essence screw up the whole research.
100%. 100%. Yeah. It's taking a lot of brains, not my brains, other people's for sure.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
You talked about market depth, right?
Yeah.
A lot of sellers shy away from products that have like 3 top earners and then the rest are just making less than 1,000. Can that be an opportunity though, if you can determine that those 3 sellers are not using external traffic? And
how though?
Google, I mean, see their storefront, see what they're doing basically. If it's just that one product, and you know, and how they've differentiated it.
Yeah.
Right?
So you could 100%.
So if you can determine that, could that not be turned into an opportunity? Because sometimes, you know, I stumble upon like a product. I don't have an example off the top of my head, but it's the top 3, and you see the other listings, and they're so bad. You're like, okay,
That's
I can actually penetrate the market and get that spot. So what do you recommend?
100%. So if you can find a product like that, for your first product, I wouldn't risk it. Like this is your first shot, like you want to make sure you launch a product that's going to work, it's going to make you money. Once you have successful products, then sure you can do that, because I had students that did that. They went into a market, I wasn't 100% sure. I'm like, I don't know if it's going to work, it's tough, because you don't know if they're driving external traffic from Facebook, from Instagram, and that's the traffic that they're bringing to the Amazon platform. Maybe it's not Amazon's platform that brings the searches, and that's where you're not 100% sure. But if you can see that 2 people have crazy listings and everyone else has crappy listings, and you're like, it's probably this is the reason, then you could test it. The first product, I probably wouldn't. You'd want to kind of make sure you make money off your first one.
Okay. Do you train your do you have VAs that you train? Or did you have?
Yeah, I use VAs for different tasks depending on like if I want to answer questions, if I'm going on a trip, whatever. But I do most of my stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think Stephen has pretty much covered everything, and I just like to, not a question, I would like to add something.
Yep.
When we're doing your product research on Gender Scout or any tool, if you see a lot of FBM, then you want to check for hazmat as well.
Yes.
It could be a hazmat. That means Amazon does not store that product into their warehouses. I have done that mistake. So yeah, if it's a lot of FBM, no FBA sellers, that means you need to look at the hazmat, if the product is dangerous or not. If not, you're good, because no one is FBA, everyone is FBA, and you can sell it.
Exactly.
So you can sell things that have battery in it or something dangerous.
Lithium batteries or chemicals, yeah.
As long as FBM.
Yeah.
Throw a bomb in there and all of a sudden,
So you charge $700 to validate the product? Do you still
Say that one more time?
You charge some money to validate products?
Yes.
Do you still do that?
Not really, because I used to have, when I first launched, because I have a course to teach Amazon sellers, and I started with launching, say you buy the course and I'll give you 3 hot product picks, so I do all the research, and that was the worst mistake I ever made. Like I got completely swamped, I couldn't keep up, I had to cancel orders and stuff. I'm really busy with a lot of stuff. I have I have over 150 students, and they call me all the time and message me and stuff, so I'm really busy with that. But if you, I could do it for you guys. If you guys are here today, I can do it completely free, 100%. Just send it to me and I'll do it for you guys. 100%. Don't swamp me with 50 bucks.
Maybe this would be your new worst decision.
Yeah, exactly. Not all 50 at once, but yeah. I'll take a look at it. It's quick though, because like within seconds, like I have an eye, so within seconds I know what I'm from a screenshot. I can quickly tell you yes or no. Yeah. If it's a yes, then I go into the next steps. But within seconds, I can say no, this is not going to work out. If it is, then I have to spend more time going through it. So.
So how long does it take if you analyze? You say like 1 hour or more for a client?
Yeah, it takes me about an hour to go through the whole. Unless you send me a product and within seconds I know that it's like crap, then a minute I can tell you.
It's like you charge them $1,200 for the analyze, and you do like 5 clients a day. Or 4 clients.
You could like I had a lot of clients. It was just time. I didn't have time, so if I could find someone that could do it. So
I will be your assistant.
We'll talk. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's a lot of money in that for sure.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've been asking you these questions, you know,
Yeah.
once in a while, right, on Facebook, but maybe it's good to share with some our folks here. You know, I've been spending on PPC, but I think you've been saying that, and I've read it too on the Facebook pages, that it's good to do Facebook ads, and some of them even discourage PPC and they say go Facebook ads because it really generates external traffic. So, you know, can you kind of expand on that? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so I'm obsessed with ManyChat, which is a messenger bot. If you guys don't know what that is, I would definitely write that down. It's a game changer. It will completely change your guys' business. I just got off the phone right before I came here with a student. He spent $10 in 1 week and got 500 subscribers for his ManyChat. Okay, and what that is pretty much is it's pretty much a messenger bot. So you would create a Facebook ad targeting 90% off for your product, or you're going to say I'm doing a free ebook or free tips, whatever. You give something for free to get their email or get them to subscribe to your ManyChat messenger bot. And then once they click, send message or find out more, get the coupon code, whatever, it automatically sends them to ManyChat, which is a messenger bot. And then you set up all your flows, all your messages before. So it's like you messaging them back and forth, but you have pretty much a robot doing it for you. And now you have a list ready to go. So once you actually have your product arrived at Amazon, you can now blast that list and ask them for a review. If you're launching a product number 2, 3, 4, whatever, now you have a list in place that you can blast that list. Like one of my clients, or one of my students, has a list of over 10,000 subscribers for ManyChat. And think about that, 10,000 people. Now you're launching a new product. You just blast that 10,000 people, just kind of like Viral Launch does and ZonJump and all these launch services. It's the exact same, but now you own it. You're in control. You can follow up with them. You say whatever you want to them. And it's super, super powerful. So to answer your question, yes, I do recommend doing Facebook ads with ManyChat to drive that external traffic, start ranking, and get reviews. Because the hardest thing on Amazon right now is going to be reviews. Most of you guys know Amazon removed almost 2.6 million reviews in the last few months here. And they're still cracking down. They're suspending accounts. I know because I've had my account suspended 3 times already. So they're cracking down on reviews. So the safe way right now is doing ManyChat. Do not use Facebook review groups. Do not. There's a lot of Amazon employees inside those groups. You will get caught. It's just a matter of time. Trust me. I thought I was extremely smart, and I got caught. It took them almost a year to catch me. So do not do that, guys. Just build it properly. Sorry?
So ManyChat, how do you spell it?
ManyChat?
Yeah.
Yeah, ManyChat. Oh, M-A-N-Y. Yeah, C-H-A-T.
Okay.
Yep, and then, yep.
I have not used the ManyChat. For example, someone is launching a brand new product.
Yep.
And they send out email to 1,000 subscribers, and out of 1,000, 100 bought the product. Doesn't Amazon look at the reviews velocity as well?
Yes.
For example, 100 bought and 100 left 5-star reviews. You won't get
100%. So you have to do them in sequences. So ManyChat, let's say I had a list of 1,000. I won't blast the whole 1,000. I'll blast maybe 100, and then inside those 100, I can set up exactly how many I want to get my follow-up email asking for the review. So yeah, you don't want to go over 10%. That's definitely so if I did 100 sales in the month, okay, if I get over 10 reviews, it's over 10% review rate, my account will most likely get flagged. On top of that, if you get the reviews too quick, your account will get flagged, even if you're under that 10%. And then the third thing is if, as a seller, let's just say everyone in your category typically gets 40 reviews a month, and you come in as a new seller, and now magically you have 70 this month, your account gets flagged. Because they take a look at everything. So there's a lot of different things. So you have to play it smart, and you want to play it safe. But ManyChat, for sure, you can control that 100% on the review rate. And just keep track, okay, I just got 10 reviews based off of this. No more, I'm not going to blast the list, I'll wait. Okay, I need more reviews, blast the list, get reviews, and just keep following up.
For the patent checks, what if the Fiverr or Upwork guy make a mistake and you're pretty much
Makes a mistake for
patent checks, let's say he says, oh, it's not patent, but it ends up being a patent.
So the guy that I use on Fiverr won't mess up. He has I forgot what his name is, but maybe I'll send it to you and you can post it in the WhatsApp group for these people. Yeah, he'll do a search and he'll send you a document showing you there's no check, this. But yeah, if you choose someone that doesn't know what they're doing and they just collect your money, yeah, you definitely could get screwed.
So just going back to the ManyChat.
Yes.
Because I think we were talking about this earlier in the meeting. I want to find people that I want to add in my ManyChat. I don't want my personal friends on Facebook to be there.
Yep.
So you suggested earlier to look for users in the US in Facebook.
Well, you're selling in US, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're going to create a Facebook ad. In Facebook Business Manager, there's a section called Audience Insight, or I think that's what it's called. Audience Insight, I think is what it's called, yeah. You could spend like 2-3 hours on that. I have a video on YouTube, completely free, teaching you guys how to use that. And you can spend hours finding the perfect targeted person, and then you create that, pretty much that avatar of what you're trying to attract, and then you launch it. If you guys are already selling on Amazon, you have an email list, or you have clients, you can pull it through Managed by Stats, so like an email append. You can pull their information and then upload that to Facebook, and Facebook will go out and find that customer for you, that exact customer, or they'll create a lookalike audience based off of that customer. So that's another way that you guys can do that. It's through Managed by Stats. There's a lot of different companies.
It's not like finding your customers through Amazon, bringing it onto Facebook.
You could find the exact same customer on Amazon, yes. So they match it by the name, email, phone number. Well, they don't provide phone number, but
So you can figure out who is buying on your Amazon, and you transfer it into Facebook.
pretty much, yeah. There's a step in between, which is a company will do that for you, but yes.
Company.
Yeah, Managed by Stats is what it's called. Yeah, and they will go in, grab the list, and they're pretty good. Typically, they, in my experience, about 50 to 60% they'll be able to receive. So if I upload a list of 1,000, I have 1,000 Amazon customers, they'll probably give me 400 to 600 people that I can retarget on Facebook. I can say, hey, you're one of our customers, and they already know because they bought from you, they're familiar with you, so the cost per click is super, super cheap. And you say, hey, I'm just following up, you know, we're giving away a completely free bottle of fish oil or free whatever. Just click send message, they click send message, now they're on your ManyChat sequence. Now you can follow up with them to get a review. You already know they purchased from you, probably at full price, so there's a lot of different things that you can do.
Sorry, so you get that in Amazon, you said?
So you have to use a company, a third-party company. There's a lot of different companies.
Okay.
I like Managed by Stats. I think it's $39 a month.
Okay.
And then yeah, it synchronizes with the Amazon's API, and then it pulls the information over, and then it goes with Facebook. We'll try to find as many people that matches that.
Yeah. This I started the Instagram account. And the
Yep.
Instagram account, you can easily follow these, I guess, companies who, let's say in my field, I have a specific niche, right?
Mhm.
And there's like thousands there, right? But I guess, is there a way that you can link your ManyChat to Instagram, or can you?
Not as right now, no. It's mostly unless you did an advertising and you used it's called the ref URL in ManyChat, because there's 10 different tools that you can use with ManyChat. So if you use a ref URL, that's what it's called. You could get someone to click that on your Instagram page, and it would subscribe them to the sequence. So yeah, you could.
Okay. Or maybe could you link them to your Facebook?
Yeah, you could.
Get in there.
Yeah.
Then you can do your
Yeah.
ManyChat or something.
Whatever works. Yeah, 100%. Yep.
So back to product research.
Yes.
How much do you pay attention to margins when you're doing it?
Good question. I didn't talk about margin, so I guess it was in the sales and revenue. So a lot of people say, you know, you need the 40 to 50% margin. I have one product that does 70%, but on average, my product margins are about 20 to 25% on average. So it comes down to your profit margins, but I also look at how much I can actually make per product. So I try to make at least $10 profit in my pocket at the end of the day once I sell that product, and I try to sell at least 10 of those a day, so I know I can make at least $3,000 US a month off one product. So now you do that 10 products, now you got 30 grand a month profit US. Even if my profit margins are 10%, if I'm still making $10 at the end of the day, then that's usually what I look at. And I've had a product like that once, as I told you guys, don't sell it as seen on TV. I had one of those products as a universal vacuum attachment. I don't know if you guys seen that. And that product killed it. It was killing. I was doing about $1 profit at the end of the day, but we were able to do 130 sales a day. So is that a bad product? Not really, because I was able to make 130 bucks a day. We carried that on for 2 months, and then we liquidated, we were done, right? So it depends at the start what you guys are comfortable with, but 25% to 30% is typically what you guys are going to see.
And that's excluding PPC, right?
Excluding PPC, correct, yeah. I know a lot of people on YouTube and stuff, like Kevin David and like Derek Struggle, they're like, oh, 35 to 50% is no problem. I haven't. I've seen it sometimes. Like it's possible, but at the end of the day, to be legit and honest with you guys, it's probably gonna be closer to 25 to 30% is what you guys are gonna.
Well, they kind of exaggerated too, right? Just to tempt people.
For sure. Yeah. It's high numbers. Yeah. Yeah.
One more.
Yeah.
So you also talked about launching and reviews coming in too quickly. So with us being in Canada and I want to sell in the United States market, can I get friends and family here in Canada to purchase my product and get them to leave a review, or
No.
will I get flagged?
They won't be able to.
They won't be able
No,
to.
unless you switch it that you want to fulfill it from Amazon, or if they buy in Canada, they can. But I haven't done it. I used to do the old trick with the
You can actually.
FBA export program.
Exactly, that's
Go
what-
to
yeah.
account settings, there's FBA export program. Click on that. It will take 48 hours, and then your product will be eligible for international shipping.
Exactly. So you could do it that way.
And it won't get flagged if it's international shipping?
Who knows?
Well, you've never done it.
Yeah, I have never done it. The way I used to do is.
You know, I'll be a little worried.
Yeah.
You know, because, okay, so you got like 5 family members to buy the same product, and all of a sudden, like from what he said, after 2 weeks, all 4 of them left to review for you, then it's going to get flagged.
Yeah, if all your
You can
sales
do
from
that
Canada.
sequence, like once in a month, one review, once in a month, another review, then you may be fine.
Or the other option is you can list your product as a merchant on the same listing and make it eligible for international shipping. That way you don't have to pay the custom and everything and ship them product, by your own, or give them, just give it to them.
And if you do it that way, make sure you actually send them the product. Don't send them an envelope, because I've actually done that and they caught me. They know the weight with the tracking numbers. Don't put fake tracking numbers. They know it's a fake tracking number. If you send an envelope, they will know it's an envelope. They're very, very advanced. They have access to almost all the data points. So you think you're smart, but they're always a step ahead of us. Greg, the owner of Jungle Scout, actually went to one of their headquarters, and he said there was a room of over 30 different people trying to figure out hacks that, like black hat methods for Amazon. That's what they get paid to do. So they're way more advanced than us. So anything you guys are thinking, someone's already thought of that.
Bigger groups also than yourself, so big happy.
Yeah.
Coming back to the product research.
Yes.
I know, in the past, a lot of YouTubers have said, the product should be minimum $50, or I agree on that. The minimum $dollar should be at least 12, 13, or 14 because of the FBA fees and PPC. But I quite don't agree with the high range. They say, okay, it shouldn't be more than $40. But I think I think that's where the opportunity lies. A lot of sellers are looking to launch a product with the smaller budget. If you know what you're doing, you can always go for a product which costs you maybe $50 per unit, and you can sell it for maybe $80 or $90. That gives you a more that gives you more opportunity to play around with the PPC and profit margins. What's your take on that?
100%. Yeah, I'm actually going after heavy, oversized products now because the margins are there. And who here has watched a YouTube video for Amazon? Probably almost all of us, right? And everyone teaches, like these gurus, coaches, they always teach the exact same method. So the problem is, you're learning, well, guess what? Another hundreds of thousands of people are looking for the exact same product, 2 pounds that fits in the shoe box, so on and so forth. And now you're just creating your own competition, right? So if you guys have the money in place, you're able to go a little oversized, then go for it. Because you're going to have less competition. People aren't looking at those products, right? So.
Any emerging markets that we should be targeting outside of US?
Well, Europe's huge, but I know I only sell in US. I'm going to be launching in Canada because I'm finding from a lot of people that there's a really good market there. But I don't know. What about you've sold in Europe, right?
For the UK and Europe, you have to register for VAT,
Yeah.
value added tax, and that's 20%. If you're planning to launch something for $10, make sure you're listing it as $12 because the 20% will automatically be deducted. You're going to have to pay to the government every quarter, or you can do it annually as well. So you make sure you have a savings account as well, where 20% goes into that. That way you don't spend it, and now you have to pay it back to the government as well. So
does that actually take because I've heard it takes like 4 to 5 months to register for VAT.
No, it doesn't take that.
Okay, it's quick.
Yeah, there is another thing about Europe. There are already quite a few platforms, online platforms. They are available there. They are there before even Amazon. They are more established right now, especially in UK. So there, the the time is going to be here. That the time will come, when Amazon is going to be, taking over those platforms. But we'll have to, think about that as well. So right now, competition is not like you're not, you won't be able to sell a whole big lot of things on Amazon in Europe. So that's it.
Yeah, I tried Australia.
Australia is like it's very less population again. The population is a big. For example, in India, it's emerging market there right now, right? But we know the potential is there, and Amazon is trying to make their own space in India, and they have already bought a lot of online platforms in India, and guess what? It's going to be Amazon.
Exactly.
In a couple of years.
Yeah.
So my question is a little bit relevant to what we are talking right now. What do you think after 10 years? What other platform is going to be emerging?
What other platforms?
Yeah, in combination
No clue.
of who knows,
I wish I knew.
So it's gonna be Amazon, right?
100%.
So,
They're gonna be
now
everywhere,
it's-
but anyone else?
So it's Amazon. It's gonna be Amazon.
Who knows, Alibaba might
Yeah,
quickly integrate.
Yeah, and if you take a look at the stats, between Amazon and eBay, you will see the decline in eBay sales and the huge and significant increase in.
It's totally a different market. I sell on both, and I can tell you it's totally different. What sells on Amazon, it's honestly it's totally different. You would literally sell anything on eBay. Like you can post this and say, hey, I'm selling this, I just finished it. It's fresh water. And somebody, like you have 10 guys to do it. So it's, yeah.
How about you agree? So your eBay, is it in US or Canada?
I do both. Actually, I do US, and I have Canadians buying from the US. So they pretty much, if you selling in the US market, Canadians will be able to see it because it's going to say this item is located in Edmonton. So the Canadians will be able to see the same item that you are selling in the US.
But somebody was telling me last month about this. I think it was you catch. Are you using this special third-party company so that your products from Amazon get shipped to eBay?
Joe Lister, yeah.
Is that the one?
Joe Lister.
Oh, okay. No,
Yeah, you
I
don't
got
use that. You
that
just
point.
basically send your stuff, right?
That's a good question. So my Amazon market is totally different. So I don't sell the same product on Amazon and eBay. Like I said, I know what's selling on eBay. And when I'm selling on Amazon, I might be able to sell like 10 a day. And I post it on eBay and nobody's buying it. Amazon buyers are kind of like the high end. You know how you kind of wonder when you go in superstore and you buy this bottle, 24 bottles for $3, and you go to Seven Foods and it's like 24 bottles for like $15, and you see guys grabbing it and you're like, what? Are you guys crazy? So go to superstore, you could probably get this for $3. So it's So I've tried the same product on eBay. There's a big Chinese market on eBay. So eBay buyers are pretty laid back. They are the guys that think, well, Amazon is ripping people off. I could buy the same bottled water for like 10% of what I'm gonna pay on Amazon. So it's a little different thing. So when I buy, I know what I'm gonna buy from sell on eBay and what I want to sell on Amazon.
So when you do your eBay, because you're from here, do you have your goods at home and you ship?
That's correct.
It's here like
Yes. With eBay, you pretty much have to do FBA.
Could you sell your
But
crap?
you can do the
Like, could you just like?
Yeah.
Could you just?
Like garage sale.
Yeah, it's like garage sale. You can literally sell anything.
So your products that you sell on eBay are things that you manufacture in China and sell, or it just sends
that's we don't want to keep Steve on his feet for too long.
No, it's all good. No, it's all good.
I think it's good to direct all the questions towards Steven for now, and then we can open.
I think I'm done with product research. So, any other questions or? Yeah.
No, I'll tell you.
Video on YouTube.
Yeah.
the marketing strategy, right? So before you learn your marketing percent tool that we're talking about now.
For the what, sorry?
Before you learn your marketing percent tool,
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen that you're using Canon Scout, right?
I use a lot of different product research
Yeah.
tools, yes.
So what about Amaze All? Amaze All? That's also another one.
Is it, sorry?
Amaze All?
Amazing. Oh, yeah. I think on one of my video tools, I think I did Amaze Owl. They're pretty off. They're completely off. And a lot of people find their products from there. I think it was a Jade Roller. It was one of their popular products, and I had like 8 people send me the same product. I'm like, where'd you guys find this? Like, Amaze Owl. And everyone's finding the same products, right? So if it's easy to find those sexy products, I never look for those sexy products. But yeah, I wouldn't trust Amaze Owl, no.
So General Scout is a good bet.
I like, in my opinion, Viral Launch, Helium 10, and Jungle Scout are the most best, user-friendly, accurate. They have a part that's free, but most of their actual like tools inside Helium 10, no, you got to pay. I think you can pick and choose what you want, but I think if you want most of the things, I think it's $97 a month, for depending on searches and what you need. But
because there's a lot of market besides tools.
yeah, and you don't need, and that's a good question. That's a good point. Is you don't need all the product research tools, and someone's going to sell you this and sell you this and sell you this. You're just going to end up spending hundreds of dollars and not actually doing anything. So you really just need one product research tool. So pick which one you like the most, and just go with that one. Whatever's more user-friendly for you and that you're comfortable with, go with that product. I personally use Helium 10. Yeah, that's the one I love the most. But with Helium 10, you can't vary, like Jungle Scout Chrome extension, I can take a look at all the picture at once. I can't do that with Helium 10. Helium 10, I actually have to search the categories and find the product. So that's why I use both, and I have scope to validate everything. So I use different tools, but at the start, just pick one, and that's all you need.
Totally different topic, EIN number.
Yep.
So I got one.
Okay.
So far, I've never ever imported anything.
Yep.
Tax related, is there any issues with it? You know,
I don't even have an EIN number.
You don't have one. So you use the
Nothing.
Nothing.
No. It's like that. Like I don't know why people get that or like.
What's the deal with that? Because from my research, what I did, like about EIN numbers, like apparently it makes sense to have one to get it over the border easier.
Does anyone have an EIN number?
I do.
And what's the biggest?
Go
for it, because I don't have one. So, what's the advantage?
I haven't really used it.
Okay.
It's just like you have to fill one form end of the year. It's called
W8BN.
And just mark your income as 0 in the US.
Yeah.
That's it. Even if you don't do that, you don't have to worry about that because it's 0.
There's a tax treaty between Canada and the States, so you don't really need it.
No, it's just because that's what I kind of
Plus,
like.
if you're sourcing from the States, that's when you need it. So any contact with the suppliers or any agents over there, then you need an EIN number. Other than that, I've never used it.
I sent a phone number in WhatsApp group. It takes only 10 minutes. They're going to put you on hold for 5-10 minutes. They're going to ask you a few questions. We're going to give you the EIN number right away. I just got one extra EIN number for my new company. So yeah, it's nice and easy.
Oh no, because I have one, right? I did the same thing. I never used it so far. I just was wondering to clarify before I go into that.
Sometimes, I've heard in groups. Personally, I've never encountered it, but sometimes if your product is held up on, like in the customs, the agent might ask you for it to declare it and clear the product, but other than I've never.
I don't know if this is true. I think if you make more than 20,000 in the States, you have to declare it. So I don't know if you have to pay the tax refund and everything, but I've never done it.
Well, because my understanding
last time I went to the States a few months ago, I'm like, maybe they're gonna catch me. Yeah, and I went through. I'm like, okay, it's a no-brainer then. Yeah, so that's what I heard, but I'm not sure.
Better check
talking
that.
about tax.
Yes, taxes.
Okay, tax. That's I have a question about that. So all of the money we make from Amazon goes to another revenue, I believe.
Yeah, so you're gonna have to do your taxes at the end of the year. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I've never done. My online for the last 3 years, just so in case. What do they call it? Like.
I work for FBA, by the way.
My question is about GST.
Yeah.
So GST, are we obliged to take GST on?
Not in the States, no. You don't have
No,
to.
in Canada.
I don't know. I haven't sold in Canada, so.
30,000.
Oh, okay.
It's 30,000.
30,000, there you go.
Yeah, you only need to register for GST if you're projecting your sales to be over 30,000 a year. Yeah, so I don't know when it comes to Amazon if they automatically tuck in GST. So
No, actually, you have to set it up. You have to. There's a, I don't know where it is, but you have to actually go on your Seller Central and set up what programs and everything. And every month you're gonna be getting that email saying, hey, here's how much GST we took from your customers for this month.
The email's not about the customers, it's about the fulfillment.
I know from the email it's gonna list
Plus GST, yeah.
HST,
Plus
and-
GST,
yeah.
especially
So-
for Ontario and British
It just lists it on the fulfillment fees, not
Plus-
on what is charging the customer. So if you sell the $20 item with GST, that's $1, right?
Yeah.
It's just gonna tell you the GST on the fulfillment fees of $5. It's not gonna tell you the GST
on the product
on the
itself.
product
Oh,
itself.
okay.
That's a separate, that's a separate calculation.
So does that actually tells you how much GST that you have to pay back to the government?
No, you have to do that yourself.
Okay.
You have to figure out how much you paid for the item in GST, how much you collected, and how much your fulfillment fees are, and you have to have other items that offset the GST amount of the government.
So do Amazon actually pay you when the fee comes, they pay you the GST?
If you charge GST on an item, you're gonna be phased out in your total.
Okay. I was thinking about this. Can you always go back and say, hey, no, I'm not charging GST again?
You can change the rules, but.
QuickBooks is, that's.
Last question.
Yeah.
Has the tariffs between the United States and China impacted your margins at all?
No, I haven't seen anything. It just happened not too long ago, right?
Yeah.
So I haven't seen anything yet, but I think it's specific. There's specific categories someone was telling me that it targeted, but I'm not in those categories, so. Yeah.
I don't think none of the consumer products will be affected.
I think it's mostly food and groceries and stuff like that, yeah. Any other questions? No?
I think it's a reborn.
Good?
Thank you so much, Stephen. I hope everyone enjoyed, and that was a great, valuable tips Stephen gave. Was something in the course as well? Do you want to give some special tips from the course?
Special tips from the
Special
course?
tips, yeah. Maybe one?
Like a hack?
Like
a special hack?
Special hack, yeah, special hack.
Let's think of a hack. Do you guys know the Amazon's Choice hack? What? How to get the Amazon's Choice badge on any of your products, any of your keywords? Okay, so pretty much, it's called a blind sale. So pretty much, what's the thing called? Alexa. Do you guys know what Alexa is?
Yeah.
So through Alexa now you can actually click on Alexa and say, hey Alexa, I'm looking at purchasing a fish oil. And what Alexa is going to do is going to go on Amazon. It's going to find the Amazon's Choice product and actually put that in the cart automatically and purchase the product. So what that's called, it's a blind sale. So the user doesn't actually see the product. They never clicked on the listing. They never saw the pictures, whatever. It just gets added to the cart and so on and so forth. So how you can trick the system is you can actually, I'll send you the link for that, because you need a special URL link. And you just get a bunch of people to actually add the cart to that link. And you actually will trick the algorithms showing that it was a blind sale. And you're automatically going to get the Amazon's Choice badge for your keywords. And you do not have to actually purchase the product. It's just add to the cart. It used to be purchased, because I know a lot of people ask, but if you get a certain amount, now the question is, how many of these do I need to add? It's based off of different categories. Some products you need 5 people to add it as a blind sale and you'll get it. Sometimes you need 50 to 100. So it depends on your seller. Like fish oil right now, you're gonna need over 100 to take over that badge from that seller. So it depends on the category.
Right. And how Jungle Scout would rank or get the sales figures? Are those the real sales figures or the ones with some other sellers already doing the same thing?
What do you mean with Jungle Scout?
Like if we are looking at the sales figures of some certain product,
Mhm.
and that person who's selling that product is actually using this app.
Yep.
So he's getting some numbers, sales figures which are not actually the real.
But he's
sales
not
figures.
actually getting sales because he's just adding it to the cart.
So Jungle Scout is not going to be catching that.
No, because it
That's
doesn't
gonna be
impact the
okay.
BSR.
Okay.
Right? So the only time Jungle Scout will estimate it based off the BSR, which is the rank, and they have access to over 100,000 students actually gave access to Jungle Scout their account. So Jungle Scout can see, okay, in baby products, this seller right here does about 50 sales a day. His BSR is 100. So they know that if a BSR of 100 in baby is going to do about 50. So they're not. That's why Jungle Scout's pretty accurate when it comes to that, because they have the data from all the other sellers and they know exactly which each seller is doing in each different category and what they're doing in sales, right? So
How Jungle Scout is off for your product sales figures?
how is it off?
How off
It used to be honestly over 40 to 60% off.
40 to 60%.
Yeah,
yes.
but
So
he added two different algorithm changes, and now it's pretty much not bang on, but it's about 10 to 20% off maybe. So it's pretty. You're never gonna have it accurate, but
it's pretty accurate because
Yeah.
because let's say the BSR changed right now, but the Amazon is going to update that BSR in an hour or 2 hours, and if you're checking somewhere in the middle, that's the off.
Exactly.
It used to be really off, but now when I look at my products, it's quite accurate. Other thing I find that many sellers, they don't know how to read the Jungle Scout. What they do, they give you an estimated 30 days volume.
Yeah.
Let's say you're a brand new seller, you sold 10 units today, they're gonna show 300 because they're multiplying that with 30 days or 31, So it's not like that it's way off, it's just like they're multiplying today's number of sales to 30. So that's how it works.
Exactly.
So isn't Viral Launch's algorithm better because it averages?
I have not used Viral Launch, so.
Never mind.
They're pretty close, yeah.
And
They're pretty-
one question, Stephen. Let's say we add a product to the cart and we make a sale, and then we cancel the order.
Mhm.
Would that affect our sales rank?
Sales rank? No, I don't think they
Like,
consider that in sales rank.
let's
no.
say-
But you don't want to get too if you cancel it as a seller,
Not as a seller. Like if I ask,
then yeah, it'll probably eventually, if they start seeing a bunch of people keep canceling, they'll know something's off, right? So.
that's a new hack.
Yeah. Well, there's actually a little a university you can call it in China that teaches black hat methods. Like legitimate. There's a group of people that's all they do is teach students how to hack, how to hijack. Like there's a new hack that I just learned. I'm still figuring out the pieces to it, but you could literally get 200 to 500 reviews in one day, and you will not get flagged by Amazon. Right? So, and these guys do it in China, and they do it every single time. So they can come into any market, get 500 reviews in a day, no problem. So there's a lot of hacks and a lot of stuff you'll get caught. You'll get your account suspended and stuff, but I see hands going up now.
I was just wondering, because I saw a video last time about that Amazon is teaching in China itself how they sell on Amazon.
It's employees. It's actually employees, and they're getting caught.
Employees.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it was on the news not too long ago, and it's starting to get posted now. It's actually employees selling information to different sellers in China and in the United States, giving them access to.
What I mean is that apparently Amazon goes to the manufacturers.
Okay.
And teach them, well, you can sell certain products on our platform.
I don't know. I have never heard of that.
No?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't. It could be. Who knows?
Yeah, no,
I don't see why they
wondering-
would do that, but they don't really
Yeah.
advertise for sellers right now. It's mostly customers that bring more and more customers. But that's you never know with Amazon.
No,
could
exactly.
Be, yeah,
Because,
it could be
I mean,
100% true.
Where's money, there's
Exactly,
Amazon.
Yeah,
100%.
There are lots of sellers who are already selling on Amazon. Yeah. So.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna comment
Who
on that.
determines the
Like,
BSR? Is it Amazon or Jungle Scout?
Amazon, yeah, it's Amazon's
Amazon.
system. Yeah, it's each category is different. Yeah, it's a number that they came up with for whatever it was. Yeah.
Just a general question. In the state of the business where you are at right now, are you using already VAs in order, because I assume you're by yourself, or is your company in the meantime so big, I mean, you can't really there's a time problem on one point, right? So do you use
So I have
already?
3 different brands right now, 3 different Amazon accounts. I have 2 with one business partner, and then I have 1 on my own right now. We pretty much manage everything on our own. I'll outsource for like photography, creating my listing. Now I don't want to do that. Excuse me, keyword research. You know, if I need them to answer questions, like anytime someone posts a negative review, you guys always want to reply to it publicly. And you want to apologize publicly. You want to, you know, act like you're a big company that you care, because another customer that's coming that's going to read that negative review is going to say, hey, they got a horrible experience, but the company actually cared. They reached out. They replied. So if I have a crappy experience with this product, they're going to do the same with me, and that negative star review won't actually stop them. They'll still purchase, right? So you want to reply to all of them as a product review, and a seller feedback, same thing. You want to dispute it and reply, resolve it.
Certain websites where you for like $500 or whatever to do your listings and stuff. Do you have specific ones, or you just go with 99 design, whatever they are called?
Yeah, so for photography and stuff, sure. Yeah, you can go anywhere. Upwork, you can go. When it comes to like actual like creating my listing, no, I use someone specific. Because a listing is not just typing in a bunch of words and just shoving it in. It's really about selling the customer. Why do they want my product over another person's product? So I really find someone that knows sales, that can have a high converting page, so that when someone lands on it, they get emotionally attached and they want that product. And yeah, so I don't hire. Exactly. Yep.
So do they look into that? Like the person you hire, do they find the keywords and stuff too? Or
Depends who you go with. My person does 100% because they work with Amazon sellers, so they know. They do all the key. Or you can go to Viral Launch. Viral Launch does it too. They have a lot of people there that can do the back-end search terms, the keywords, the title. They'll optimize everything for you. Yeah, lots of places out there.
How much do you charge?
Viral Launch, I think it's $450 a listing. I think so.
That's just a content. That's
Yeah.
not photography.
No,
The
yeah.
photography starts from $700, 5 photos, and it goes all the way. And the Viral Launch, they don't do infographics. They will only do white background and lifestyle, and they will not add any text to that.
Exactly.
So yeah, so you really want to work with the guy who knows how to do the graphic designs, infographics, you know, how to do the clipping path and everything, lifestyle, if models are required or not. If you go with the big Viral Launch or the bigger companies, they're gonna ask you to hire a model. You know, even though you don't need that, there are so many copyright-free images you can download, and you can, if there is a great graphic designer who knows, who's a professional, they can use that free copyright image, and they can, you know, make it look really natural. So yeah, and Fiverr and Upwork, I would never recommend.
It's just a bad experience.
And before we leave the review part, the negative review.
Yes.
Sometimes the response to a negative review adds to your credibility. It goes back to the famous Tylenol case 25 years ago. Somebody attempted with Tylenol cans and some people got badly poisoned. Tylenol pulled every jar, whatever, every can of Tylenol off the shelf in North America. With like hundreds of millions of dollars worth pulled, and their response to it added to the market share in the end. But they took the hit. Same with the, whatever, the bacteria in pork a few months ago, the Pine Haven hot rice colony. They're at the moment building a European grade packing house. So they are, because they're into the exotic meat market, they raise grass-finished black Angus. So that 2 markets are Europe and Vancouver's high-end restaurants. That's what they ship stuff from Central Alberta. So their response to what happened is that they shut down the whole thing and said that we rebuild everything, scrub everything, that whatever the veterinary people in there a number of times to swab the caulking and whatever to make sure that everything was good. So they actually, within their own wholesale market, again, gained from having been exposed. So the response, don't think that the bad review is bad.
Exactly.
Make it good. Because your response is what creates your credibility.
Exactly.
Even though if it's not a bad review, let's say you're getting a lot of 5 stars, I would still, you know, reply to that review. Hey, thank you for purchasing XYZ product, we're happy to do business, whatever. Whoever reads that, reads the review, pretty much everyone reads the review. So when they see someone live replying, I think that conversion rate,
And you're right, even replying to the 5 stars.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if that works. Try to add keywords in your reply, because that's gonna somehow it will trick the Amazon's A9.
Well, because the whole site is spider.
Yeah.
Is there a standard formula to reply to a negative review?
Reviews, what you can do, you can go to your buyer's account and change your, let's say, customer support or anything, customer service, my brand customer service. You can reply to that comment, as from your buyer's account. And if you see some negative, reviews, click on not helpful, because that's going to rank it down. The most helpful review will stay on the top.
I don't think they have that anymore.
They don't?
I think they took that down.
They
Yeah,
took that down?
it's only upvoting now.
It's only up. Oh, okay.
I think so.
It used to work. It used to work. Not helpful.
Yeah, I think they took
I
that
just
down.
clicked it, yesterday.
Oh, it worked, really?
Um,
So maybe that's starting on more products. Yeah.
Was it in Canada or, I don't remember which one it was.
Like upvoting the review or downvoting?
I think.
You can
I think I
upvote.
did one that was like not helpful and then it.
Okay, yeah. I
think
Like
it's still
it was,
not helpful.
I don't know if it worked because it was on my computer or my product.
Yeah.
Under my personal account.
Exactly.
So I don't know if it was like.
Because you
I was
used
just
to be able to
mad, so I
downvote
did
it, and people would just push all the reviews down, just get a
Yeah.
VA to do that. So they removed that. You can only upvote it, but maybe you can still, like you said, say it's not helpful. Yeah.
I think we can redirect any other questions to
Yep.
Steven afterwards.
Yeah.
It's gonna be-
So, and if someone wants to join our WhatsApp group, and let me know, I'll add you. I'll add you once I go home. So I think that's it for today's meetup, and we're open to general discussion, networking, and if you have any questions, if you want to move your seats around, feel free to do that. And I think that's what today's agenda was. So again, thank you so much for coming, and we'll see you guys at our next meetup. So yeah,
absolutely.
thank you. I hope this was a valuable meetup, because we had Ken and Steven. So yeah.
Steve, how much is your course? I mean, I took so many.
You bought a lot?
Well, but they were all cheap, but very, very good information, I have to say.
Yeah.
So, I got, but, well, nevertheless.
$9.97.
And he's
30
giving
hours of content.
he's giving special discount 90.